Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Stinky Summer, a family comedy movie that has so many cliches in it. I counted at least a half dozen just in the trailer. Smash a like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Heart in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 15, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Yes, that is a skunk. Here, sit here. Sit here. You're about the size of a skunk. Joan got sprayed by a skunk a couple of times. She thought it was her friend. Was it your friend? No, it wasn't. Anyhow, the premise of this movie is a wacky family comedy about girls going to a camp. They befriend a skunk. Meanwhile, international spies are trying to steal their dad's tablet. And they're very competent. Oh, very scary international spies that get thwarted by a group of girls and a skunk. And the skunk is their secret weapon. He sprays all the international spies. See, she's very upset. She's been sprayed by a skunk. This movie doesn't look funny at all. It might be funny to like a 4-year-old, you know, just because a bunch of adults are in it and wacky things happen and they go, wah, 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 wah. You know, big, I mean, I've always said go big or go home in comedy, September 10th, if you're interested. The thing is, if you don't have any actual comedy in the movie, and you're just relying on cliches and a formula, then you don't really have a movie. There she is being sprayed. You know, they can't carry this movie on nothing. And I mean, just watch the trailer if you want to punish yourself. Every line in it sounds like a cliche, if it isn't. It sounds like there are cliches, and then there are things that sound like cliches. So, could you make this movie work? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But you would need a realistic setup. More realistic setup. A more grounded reality. Than this. You know? And, you know, you could say, well, that's fine for kids, and it's harmless, and it kind of is. Except, you know, you're showing a bunch of cliches. And the kids don't know what the cliches are. They might actually think they're good because they're hearing them for the first time, but I would argue we could do better. It's just flat out, you could do better than this. You know? I would be worried if my kid laughed at this movie. I'd be like, oh, his sense of humor is not developing at all. You know, I mean, maybe you'd laugh at this if you've never seen a comedy movie. That's how low the bar is here, I think. If you've never seen a comedy movie and don't know what jokes are, you might go, oh, this is amusing. What is this? Comedy, you say. That's very funny. Yeah, I just won't want my kid to be exposed to this first and say this was their first and favorite comedy. Because that's what happens when you're a little kid, right? You see, for me, it's the Banana Splits, as you know. And you see that and you just, you're nostalgic for it. And you always think, oh, I love that. I used to love the Banana Splits. I know there are a bunch of guys in mascot costumes pretending to play instruments and lip syncing to a song, and they don't even have to lip sync. And then they play cartoons. This is sort of worse than that because at least the Banana Splits had they had original music. Barry White wrote one of the songs. I kid you not, he wrote one of the Banana Splits songs. It's called "Doing the Banana Splits." He didn't sing it, by the way. That's why people don't remember. But this, yeah. So first act, the kids are going away to summer camp. Here they are in their suburban home, and they're a bunch of kids, so they pick on each other and do kid things. And there's the middle sister, or the oldest sister, and the middle sister, and the little sister, and they're talking about going away to camp. And then there are, I guess, mean girls at the camp. And then they befriend the skunk. But meanwhile, international spies are trying to steal their dad's tablet, which I guess the girls have for some reason. One of them took it by mistake, maybe. And so they tried to infiltrate the summer camp to get it. And in the process, this guy gets beaten up by a girl who dances, and the woman gets sprayed by a skunk, and all sorts of terrible mishaps befall her because she's not a very competent spy. And that's the joke. And here they disguise themselves as park rangers, but then somehow screw it up. So it's just, it's mostly these guys screwing it up and the kids being competent and barely in danger. And then finally at the end, the skunk saves them, and the spies go to prison or something. I don't know. Does it really matter? They don't win. But you get to see a lot of the skunk puppet. I mean, I guess you could argue the skunk is kind of the only new thing in the movie. Yeah, I don't know if it's a wise idea to show a movie to little kids you could befriend the skunk, he'll be your friend. Yeah, as I said, Joan got sprayed by a skunk on 2 different occasions. It was not a happy time for little Joan. No, it was not. Or me. I had to stop her. She ran into the house, started rubbing her face on all the furniture, trying to get the stink off, and then I had to wash her. Tomato juice didn't really work, by the way. Just a lot of soap. You shouldn't play with skunks. They are wild animals, and they can have rabies. It's possible. And, they're wild animals, so they may bite you. They look fun. I'll give you that. They look like fun little pets. They're about the size of a cat. But yeah, you wouldn't want to befriend one close up. Maybe you throw out some food if you're 20 feet away and it appears to be docile. But even that, I would decline. I would just go away. And quick note: if you want to keep skunks off your property, if you have a skunk in your yard or near your house or something, it's living in there and you're worried, leave on all the lights, because skunks are nocturnal. Yeah, they tend to come out at night to forage for food, and they don't like the light. They avoid it. So if you leave on all your lights outside, they avoid it. So I haven't had any problems with the skunk since I started leaving all my lights on. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and little Joan, who's currently not Stinky. Stinky Summer, September 10th. And for me, I'll be doing the live stream tonight at 7 p.m. where we do it live, and it should be a good time. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.